These are my 7 shoe essentials to match any outfit. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a video focusing all on shoes and how I like to style some of my most worn favorite shoes with different outfits I like to wear. 7 pairs of essential shoes can be quite a lot, and I'm definitely not saying that everyone needs all of these shoes in their wardrobe, but rather these are some of the shoes that I like to use all the time when I'm building an outfit or putting a look together. Throughout today's video, you can see that shoes really make a huge difference to an outfit, and pairing the right shoe with the right outfit can make it feel really elongating, and pairing the wrong shoe can make it feel a little bit more frumpy. Today's video is in partnership with Monica Vinader, and all of the jewelry pieces that I wear in the styling and throughout today's video are from the brand. I'll be speaking a bit more about them later in today's video, but let's get started with shoe number 1. The first shoe I want to share is this pointed-toed Chelsea boot, and then the second shoe I want to share are these lace-up black boots from D. Francis. I'm going to talk about these two together because they obviously have a lot of similarities, but as I go through the styling, you'll see that depending on the kind of outfits you wear, one of these boots will definitely be a little bit better than the other, depending on your style. Even though I feel like I've seen this pointed style Chelsea boot everywhere, the reason why I like this one is because it's very wide and I don't feel like I'm wearing a pointed toe shoe. As someone with wide feet, I avoid pointed toe shoes because they're so uncomfortable, but this one doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. These were the only shoes I wore for a weekend away to Melbourne, where I walked all day, and honestly I had no blisters, no issues at all. Other than the comfort, I do love the shape of a pointed toe shoe. I find it to be so incredibly elongating and flattering, and when it's comfortable, it's really the perfect combination. I like that it has a stacked heel. I feel like it just feels a little bit more durable in my experience than when the heel is covered in leather. Sometimes that feels a bit more fragile, like I need to be more careful, whereas a stacked heel just feels very durable. As someone who is more petite, most trousers look more flattering when I wear them with a heel. However, I also like to walk a lot, so wearing a really high heel is not always an option. So this one has a small heel, and because it's a block heel, it's really comfortable to walk in. And it also has that pointed toe, which I feel like looks really nice when you have a wide leg trouser. You can still see the front of the shoe, and the shoe doesn't just disappear into the trouser. I have a pair of white jeans in my wardrobe and I love them. They have a raw hem, but I would say this jean is a little bit too long for me when I'm not wearing a heel. So once again, with the pointed toe and the block heel, the boot goes perfectly with this style of jean. It gives me a little bit of additional height, and then of course the pointed toe also elongates this wider style of jean on me. If I'm buying a shoe, I kind of try to make sure the shoe works with all of my go-to looks, and I wear midi skirts a lot. So for a typical midi skirt outfit like this one, the shoes also work really nicely in creating a very sleek kind of outfit. The shoe matches with a range of the type of outfits I like to wear, and I think this should be one of the most important criteria if you're shopping for shoes. I want to take a moment here to switch the topic and talk about some of my favorite Monica Vinader jewelry pieces. One of my favorite pieces is definitely this pearl necklace. Having pearls around the face, I feel like it's just so brightening, and pearls always feel very classic and timeless in my wardrobe. Another favorite for me is this necklace, which is a really great pop of color. I love a pop of color in my outfits, you'll see it all the time, but the turquoise, the reds, and the greens, I feel like work so well in this combination. My last favorite is the silver bangle, and I love the design of it, but I also love that it comes in 3 sizes because a lot of bangles can be a little bit too large on my wrist, so this just makes it so wearable, but I also like the very classic design. All of Monica Vinader's jewelry is made from 100% recycled sterling silver or 18 karat gold vermeil, and any pearls or gemstones or diamonds that they use are all ethically sourced. If you place an order with them, the packaging that they use is made from recycled materials and is also recyclable. One of my favorite things about Monica Vinader is that they have a repair and rewear program. It's designed to prolong the life of our jewelry pieces so we can enjoy it and wear it for a long time. If you're ever looking to treat yourself or gift a loved one a piece of jewelry, I do have a 20% off discount with them, and it will be in the description box down below. Let me go to the D. Francis boot now, and then we'll do a little compare and contrast. This is one of my most comfortable shoes I've ever owned. It has a very buttery, soft leather, and it definitely is a lot softer than this pair, which feels a little bit more structured in comparison. If I just show you, it really scrunches up really easily because the leather is so soft. The shoe obviously doesn't have as much of a heel, I mean a little bit, but nothing substantial. It's got the lace-up detail, and then it's got more of an almond kind of rounded toe. That is a shoe I've had for a couple of years now. It's really one of my favorite shoes for the craftsmanship, the quality. But let me show you the difference in styling. If I take the white jean outfit as an example, pairing it with the lace-up boot, for me, feels a lot less flattering than the pointed toe boot. It doesn't feel as sleek or as elongating in comparison. And you'll see me awkwardly try to shorten one side of my pant leg because I want to show you here, if the jean was a little bit shorter and you could see more of the ankle and more of the boot, the shoe would match this look a lot more. So basically, with this Steve Francis lace-up boot, I like to wear it with outfits where the ankle is showing. It's really perfect with trousers that maybe are more 7/8 length, and then you can see a little bit of the lacing and a little bit of the ankle. My absolute favorite way of styling this lace-up boot is with different midi skirts and dresses. I love the way that this lace-up boot just feels like it toughens up some more feminine outfits, but I also like that the shape hugs around the ankle, and it makes it super flattering to wear with different skirts and different dresses. I love both of these boots with the skirt outfit, but we have to keep in mind that the lace-up boot is a flat shoe. It doesn't have the heel, it doesn't have the pointed toe, and I think the fact that I like them equally definitely is a big deal for the lace-up boots. To sum up here, if you wear a lot of trousers and full-length trousers, I don't know I would recommend this boot as much. And I would definitely go for the pointed toe boot with the heel. It is so much more flattering with different trousers. If you wear a lot of 7/8 length pants and midi skirts and dresses, you live a more casual lifestyle, you walk a ton, then this is the boot that I feel like is a bit more versatile. The next shoe I want to feature are these Steve Francis Spirit boots. I have mine in this burgundy color with a black heel. It is a much higher heel compared to my other styles, so it does give me a height boost. Quality and craftsmanship I feel like is impeccable. Again, that very buttery soft leather. I just think for the price, which has gone through I feel like a couple of increases as well, I wouldn't pay for it at the current price. In terms of the comfort of this shoe, I have no issues with the upper itself. It's more that the heel height is quite high, so it's definitely not a shoe I'll wear walking around the city, absolutely not. It's a shoe that I'll just wear if I'm going to lunch, going to dinner. Doing a little bit of walking is fine, but not like walking around all day. When I'm styling this with trousers, if I pair it with a really long trouser and it covers most of the shoe, then I feel like it has the most elongating effect. Obviously, my leg looks quite a few centimeters longer than it is with a flat boot. On the other hand, in this outfit, when I'm pairing it with the white trousers, they end about here. And what I like in this look is that you can see more of the beautiful design of the boot. One of the benefits about this being a higher boot is that if you're wearing a midi or maxi skirt or dress, oftentimes it will fall over the boot and you get a very seamless look. If the skirt is long enough and it kind of hits about here, it almost feels like this might be a high boot and it just feels very seamless. However, I wouldn't style this boot with any kind of shorter skirt or dress. And that's just because I feel like this boot ends at the bottom of my calf. And it's just a very unflattering place to highlight on my body. So any kind of short skirt, and you'll see in the outfit, I roll up my skirt to show you an example. I would not wear this boot because for me, it's just incredibly unflattering. What I'm telling you is definitely what I find to be the case on my body shape. So if you have a very different proportion to me, if your legs are maybe not as strong in the calves, then maybe this could work. But on me, definitely no. My next shoe favorite is my New Balance 574s. This is a shoe that I've had in my collection for ages. This is a new pair, but I've had the grey one for ages. I've always liked the look of a very bright sneaker or a statement sneaker and a very simple outfit. I feel like it's very chic whenever I see it out on the streets. While I'm well aware that New Balance is having a moment right now, there are a few things that I actually like about New Balance versus, the latest shoe from Adidas or Nike, etc. And one of those things is that I feel like New Balance shoes are a little bit wider. I find that because I have a wider foot shape, it is really comfortable on me. I can't say that about all sneakers because a lot of sneakers I've tried in the past are actually not super comfy. I get blisters from them. So this is a shoe I love because it really is comfortable. If I pair this sneaker with the white pants, which I wear all the time, probably like 3 times a week, the pant length means that I can see a lot of the details of the sneaker. And as I walk around, I feel like the sneaker feels very prominent in the look. I would also pair it with a pant like this one, This one is a bit longer compared to the white one, but I still think it works pretty well together. What I love about this look is the taupe with the blue. I think these two colors work really nicely together, and that's what I especially like about this outfit. I would also wear these sneakers with jeans. I do prefer the trouser because it's more fluid, the jeans are more structured. So I feel like the jeans outfit is not as flattering, but I would still wear it. What I would do is that I would roll up my jeans a little bit so you can see a bit of ankle when I'm wearing these shoes. The reason is I feel like because they're a bit chunky, it's nice to get a bit of shape in the leg when I'm pairing jeans with these sneakers. This is an example where I often build an outfit from the shoes. So if I'm walking around all day long and I want to be super comfy, I'll start with these sneakers and then I'll think about which pant I'm gonna wear, which are usually, more fluid trouser because it goes with the shoe. And I'll work my way up and figure out the rest of the outfit. On those really casual walking a lot days, this is how I like to do things because there's nothing worse than coming up with a beautiful outfit and then not being able to find the shoe that will match with the look. Another thing is that the shoe is a perfect example of figuring out what you wear and letting that shape what you buy for shoes. If you wear predominantly dresses and skirts, this is a shoe you really don't need because you kind of have to make outfits to wear with this shoe rather than this shoe just matching with what you already wear. I think I used to let myself buy the shoes that I was drawn to without really thinking about the type of outfits I wore. And that's how I ended up with a lot of shoes, but actually no shoes to wear. For a little bit of a change in style, I want to share with you these slightly more dainty looking, slightly more feminine shoes. These are some slingback shoes from SANDAL. These have a little ankle strap, a very small 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter heel, and then it also has a slightly pointed toe. It's more almond than super pointy actually, so it still is very wearable and not uncomfortable compared to one of those super pointy shoes. I'm not much of a ballet flat person at all, and I usually don't like super dainty shoes because I feel like it doesn't suit my body shape. I often find that a chunkier shoe just looks a lot more balanced with my leg shape as opposed to something very dainty that I feel like almost exaggerates the more muscular shape of my legs. There's a couple of reasons why I chose out this shoe, and I think the biggest reason is because it does have a 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter heel. Even if it's the smallest heel, even if it's just a chunkier sole, as long as it has something, it really does feel a lot more balancing with my leg shape. If you're more pear-shaped, I really recommend trying a shoe that has a more substantial sole or a slight heel because it really does make a huge difference in making my proportions look more balanced. Because ballet flats are usually very flat with a very thin sole, I find those two things not the most flattering on my shape, so this is a really good alternative. This particular color, when it's on my foot, is actually very similar to my skin tone. Any shoe that is in your skin tone always will have that elongating effect rather than cutting us off at the shoe. The last thing is that it doesn't have a super rounded toe. If a toe is super rounded, again, I don't find it ultra flattering, whereas when it has a slight taper, when it goes a little bit pointy without going too much where it's uncomfortable, I find that to be the most elongating shape. Because we've just come out of winter, I haven't had a chance to wear these shoes a ton, maybe only 5 to 10 times, but I will be wearing these a lot more in spring summer just because I feel like they're an easy shoe that does match with a lot of outfits. The way that I like to wear these shoes is definitely with dresses and skirts when I don't want the chunky sandal which I usually will wear. In this outfit, all the things I mentioned before, the neutral color, the slight point of the shoe, I think goes really well and is very flattering with the skirt. I also like the texture that it adds. In summer outfits, it can be harder to add texture, whereas this shoe just adds that element into any look. I want to go back to styling the shoe with pants, and the reason why I keep on showing you the miniskirt pants is because these are the things I wear the most. So for any shoe that is essential in my wardrobe, it really does have to work with both of these things, or work really, really well with one of them for me to feel like it's worthy of keeping or owning in my wardrobe. With the trouser here, a shoe that wouldn't look good on my body with the trouser would be a ballet flat because it would be so flat and I think it would really be quite bottom heavy. Whereas this shoe, because of the heel, because of the point, I think it's actually very wearable with this trouser, and for me, this is my alternative to a ballet flat. The second last pair of shoes I want to share are these sandals from Ancient Greek Sandals. I'm going to pop up a photo here because these shoes are well loved and you probably don't want to be staring at them. But I love these shoes because, well, number one, they are so comfortable. It's got the thick sole. It's really one of the most comfortable summer shoes I've ever worn. and shoes I can walk all day in, no problem. The sole is also really supportive, and if we're looking at comfort, I don't think anything can beat these shoes. Purchasing these shoes a couple of years ago now also felt like a bit of a turning point in my style, because before that, I had never really found shoes that I loved, and I just really loved the chunky design of these. Suddenly, with all of my feminine dresses, my more girly pieces, there was a way to make it feel more balanced with this shoe. I found my shoes on sale from The Iconic in Australia, so they were probably about 50-60% off, and look, even at full price, if I ever had an issue with these shoes, I think I would repurchase them just because I wear them that often. Since then, I've had a few pairs of shoes from Ancient Greek Sandals, and honestly, I feel like every single pair has been really good. I've never had issues with any of them, and I do have a lot of issues with a lot of shoes, but Ancient Greek Sandals shoes, because they go on sale all the time, I'm often able to pick it up at a pretty good price, and they always last really long. My lifestyle involves a lot of walking. I'm often walking for hours and hours on the weekends, and if I'm wearing a beautiful dress or a skirt, I love to pair it with these shoes in the summertime over a sneaker. These shoes are just as comfortable, but I feel like it's a little bit more stylish in these outfits. The last style of shoe I want to share with you today are loafers. And today I'm sharing with you these white loafers. I would say that a dark loafer is obviously going to be a lot more versatile, and I do have my Tibby loafers, but I've actually lost one of the studs for that loafer, which is keeping that bow thing in place. So I'm going to show you these white ones today instead. My one here is a more chunky style of loafer, but with loafers, I love them all, from super delicate and slim to the really chunky ones. I just like loafers. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the brand, but I will have them up on the screen. I believe it's a German brand. I feel like the sole, because it's chunky, does make this shoe feel a little bit heavier. I felt worse, but it's not like a very light shoe, which is something that I do prefer. Not like ridiculously heavy, which I've also felt, but it's got a little bit more weight than I would like. I do like this shoe in the sense that the leather upper feels really soft and beautiful in quality. It's got some nice little accents, which I appreciate. But for me in general, this loafer doesn't stand out to me too much. I just got it because I wanted a pair of lighter loafers and they were on sale. Whereas some of my other shoes I really feel like stand out in terms of quality. This one I'm still kind of testing out, and I can let you know more as I've worn it more. I do have a pair of black loafers on my wish list for when I go to Europe, and something I'll be looking out for is a slightly lighter shoe. That is always something really important to me, and maybe something that is just ever so slightly less chunky than this style. There's been a little bit of trial and error when it comes to styling chunkier loafers, but I feel like my favorite outfits are when you can see the ankle when you're wearing a chunky loafer. I find that if the pant is wide and it goes into this chunky shoe, it's not always the most balancing, and you can't really see much shape. Whereas if you wear a pants that you can see the ankle, it feels like there's a lot more proportion and balance with the chunkier shoe. So across these outfits, you can see that I try to leave my ankle out and go for a 7/8 pant rather than a full-length pant, because I find that to be a lot more balancing with the loafer. If I'm pairing it with dresses and skirts, I actually feel like a mini would look really good with loafers. I would also do a midi, but I wouldn't really do full length where you can't see the ankle, because same thing with pants, it would feel a little bit less balanced than what I would want. On Pinterest, I also had a browse looking at the type of outfits that people wear with loafers, and most of the time what I saw was that people were wearing jeans where you could see your ankle, and then in a slightly slimmer shape as well, I think was really popular as a very classic look to wear with loafers. A way to style loafers that I often see, and I really love the look of, is when people wear a jean, a 7/8 jean, they wear a pair of black socks and then wear the dark loafers. This is a great way to transition the loafer from maybe, slightly warmer weather to colder weather. There's something about this look that I really love, so when I finally fix my Tibby loafers and when I find some black loafers I like, this is definitely a look that I will be wearing. Those were my 7 shoe essentials to match any outfit. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, thank you to Monica Vinazer for working with me in this one. I will have my 20% off discount code down below if there is something you'd like to check out. When you're seeing this video, I will actually be in Europe and I have a ton of things I want to share on Instagram. So I would love for you to go give me a follow over there if you'd like to see more outfits. Have a great week ahead, everyone. I'll see you next one. Bye.